And
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to PWF Empire's review of the SmackDown Live episode that aired on May the 2nd, 2017. Jay here. Once again, I was not supposed to be here, but hey, I guess Justin, he was psychic last week. He was talking about how we're destined to continue doing this, and we're here once again. So maybe you were on to something.
yep, it is. Eric Rowan told me as I slept one night, and he came to my dream and says, "You are destined to do a show with Jay every day,
Eric
not every day, every
Rowan?
week." Yes, and then he gave me a drink of his wine he makes because he's a vintner, and I drank from it, and it
He's
was good.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk about SmackDown. Once again, I'm turning over the reins to you. You
Roman
are
Reigns,
aware that you're moderating tonight, right?
I'm moderating. Okay,
Okay.
I can do this. And Jay, I'm gonna make it very easy for you to start because I got to get some ranting off my chest.
Really? I have absolutely no idea what you're going to be
No
ranting
idea,
about.
huh? No idea who it could it be. And you might want to stay on the live button. You might have to cut the feed here because I'm going in. And when Justin Gordon goes in, shit is said. I don't know. I'm going to go with that. It's fine. But my rant is on Jinder Mahal. Now, I want to preface this before I get into my ranting that this is not about him, the person, or the performer, even. It's not his fault. He did what he had to do, however he got the body he has, and his whatever he had to do to get this mission. Fine, whatever. It's not his fault. It's the booking, and it's entirely. And it didn't really hit me because the past couple of weeks has been like, oh, this is so stupid. Why is this happening? Jinder Mahal, really, there's so much talent. Why? But tonight it hit me like a bag of bricks just slamming against my head when I saw not only this man have to be stripped of the title that's not his, to Shane McMahon, and not Randy Orton, the WWE champion, because it seems like the WWE champion doesn't give a shit about his own belt. No, they'll have Shane McMahon take it from him. That's one thing. He didn't even look proper with them. It didn't look like he belonged with that belt even. So my point is when he beat Sami Zayn, and I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to reverse book where it's like, oh, now we're making him look strong now after the fact. And what they don't understand is that's not working. All it does is it doesn't make Jinder Mahal look better. It makes Sami Zayn look worse. And as a big Sami Zayn fan, this is why it hit me so hard because I love Sami Zayn. I loved him from his NXT stuff. I loved him on his Raw stuff, even when it was pretty odd with Mick Foley or whatever. I enjoy Sami Zayn. I think he's a potential main eventer. I believe in Sami Zayn. And to watch him lose to a man who, I mean, look at Sami Zayn. He went toe to toe with Braun Strowman, the guy who's killing Roman Reigns regularly now. He went toe to toe with him in December. He beat Kevin Owens, a former world champion, but he can't beat Jinder Mahal, the guy who was losing to Jack Swagger, all these, and lost to Finn Balor in 2 minutes. And yet, I'm supposed to look at Sami Zayn and say, "Man, he's a potential. He could be anything great now." Because he's like Jinder Mahal's not impressing anybody. He's like a black hole now. That everything he touches now is being diminished. The WWE title, the most prestigious title in the company, is now lower tier. And it was already in a bad streak since Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt had their thing. But now it's at a point where it's like, why should I ever give a fuck about this belt? Why are you diminishing your most important title? The belt, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock, all these people have held, and now Jinder Mahal is going for the belt. I find it's disrespectful to that belt. I find what it's doing to the talent very distasteful because you have the biggest and best roster you've ever had, and yet we're stuck watching Jinder Mahal compete for the belt. It's the equivalent of saying, Hulk Hogan, we need a guy for you to face at WrestleMania. Oh, we could have Ted DiBiase, a guy who's never been champion. Now, let's go Coco Beware, who just lost to some schmuck in Pennsylvania somewhere. He is your main event guy. No, that's not how booking works. And I get WWE's trying to say, we're surprising, we're shocking, we can do anything because we're the kings of the kingdom. But there are reasons why things, for writing purposes, they are the way they are. And not changing the established order just for the sake of cheap shock value and trying to force a guy into a spot that's not meant for him is not good writing, and it's really a waste of time. And oh, go on. What do you have to say? Go ahead.
You touched on my main issue with this stuff that's going on with Jinder Mahal, and this is the fact that Jinder Mahal, we can't look at him as this self-contained project. Everything that Jinder Mahal does, it reverberates throughout WWE, and you hit the nail on the friggin' head. Jinder Mahal was just a jobber recently, and he got beat in very quick order by Finn Balor on Monday Night Raw, was serving the role of enhancement talent there. He wasn't even a name. He did not matter. He was just there as fodder for Finn Balor. Somebody for Finn Balor to pin, then wham bam, thank you ma'am, we move on to the next thing. Now it's as if WWE wants us to believe that Jinder Mahal and this Jinder Mahal are two completely different people. So we see him tonight on SmackDown. He looks damn good. Like, he looks good, and as I said on the show last week, I believe, I like the presence that he has. And there's something very commanding about Jinder Mahal. And it would be wonderful if he was a self-contained product. But with WWE treating Jinder Mahal the way that they are currently, there are reverberations that are felt throughout the entire product. And he does make Sami Zayn look like a straight-up jabroni, when Jinder Mahal himself is a jabroni, but we're supposed to believe that he's had some kind of transformation, some kind of evolution, and now he's a worthy title contender. WWE is booking him in that way. It'd be a completely different thing if they sent him on a journey on screen and we were able to see Jinder Mahal go up progressively. It's a difference where it's like he's here 1 week, or shit, he's out of the camera frame 1 week, and then boom, up here. I needed to see that journey to be invested in what's going on, because when we see Jinder Mahal beating Sami Zayn like he did tonight, there are far too many questions that we have to ask that WWE simply does not have a logical answer to.
And going off that, it even reverberates to the title itself what damage is done, because let's look at the House of Horrors match, because it involves the WWE title. And Bray Wyatt threw a refrigerator Randy Orton no-selled it, whatever, went toe-to-toe with Bray Wyatt. And the sad thing is, it hurts Bray Wyatt now, because he needed Jinder Mahal, a jobber, and two other enhancement talents and the Bollywood boys to beat down Randy Orton in order for him to win. So now how am I supposed to take Bray Wyatt, another former world champion, seriously when he needed all that help to beat Randy Orton? So it's diminishing effects on everything Jinder Mahal's like facing now. It's hitting a big whiplash, and I have a problem with that, because I want to love the WWE title. I want to be because it's the title, right? We grew up as a wrestling fan. You're like, that's a title. If I ever want to be a wrestler, that's the belt I want. And the stage I want to, and yet we're looking at Randy Orton, who's boring, and Jinder Mahal, who's not worthy. And it makes for a pretty and we have to watch Backlash. We have to sit through all the good things, like Nakamura's on the card, and Kevin Owens and AJ Styles are going to tear the house down. And what do we get for a finale? Boring Randy Orton versus not worthy Jinder Mahal. That's insulting as a wrestling fan.
And also, with Randy Orton not being on the show, it just made it seem like he didn't give a fuck about the WWE Championship. For Shane McMahon to have to be the one who got the championship back, no fuss out of Randy Orton. That left a very sour taste in my mouth, especially when I look at Randy Orton as if he's a guy that just doesn't care. He's on autopilot all the goddamn time.
Yeah,
Cass
it feels like
put it perfectly when he said that Randy Orton is a part-timer that's always there.
Oh my God, that is actually really well stated. Good cast line.
He has a part-timer mentality where it's like, I'm just getting in here to collect my check. I'm a big name, but I'm here to just collect my check and then skedaddle.
Goodbye.
But you don't skedaddle though. You're just still there. Your mind is elsewhere. Your attention is elsewhere. Your fire is sitting at home on the goddamn couch watching the show. But I mean, hey, he didn't even have that going for him tonight. He was at home with his fire. Like, you see this bullshit? Like,
yeah, no, and it also makes Jinder Mahal look even more of a joke. Like, Randy Orton does not even bother to go confront him and get his belt back.
Like,
He's
Shane, go get the title. Like,
I don't need to confront Jinder Mahal
with him.
Like, Randy Orton's like, Jinder Mahal, okay, easy win for me at Backlash, shit. But
like, I don't want to see you until I have to, unfortunately, face you.
I have to hit you in RKO. That's all the time I want to see you. But that's not. Man, that's your world title feud, and there's something really good like underlying in the U.S. title feud, which I guess we could turn this now to.
Yes.
Even though I'm confused, I wonder if you're confused about it too. Like, why they went the direction they did at Payback to get to where we're back to where we were before Payback, where it's like AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, and Jericho was there for some reason to be United States champion. Like,
see, they had to end the feud with Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. And I guess this was their way of doing it. We're provided with, instead of one moment, two. Uh, Kevin Owens, he loses at Payback. He wins tonight. He regains the championship. He beats the entire hell out of Chris Jericho. So I guess Chris Jericho may be going away now. Yeah, it. I mean, it got us back to the point that we were at before Payback, but I wouldn't say necessarily, because it does propel Kevin Owens forward with some kind of momentum, maybe a momentum that wouldn't have been captured if he simply just retained the title.
Yeah, but the thing is,
instead of losing
he lost though. But he lost. It's like, shouldn't, for building to a United States champion, why would he lose? And the beatdown, I like the beatdown because it's sadistic Kevin Owens. We don't need jokey Kevin Owens. We need,
we don't need Kevin James. We need Kevin Owens.
Boom, perfect. And I like that, but I'm like, couldn't that have been done at Payback, where he beats Jericho and then just like, I'm going to wail and injure you here, and then Jericho's off doing it. Like, the only way I could see is they want Jericho on the roster without putting him through the shakeup thing. But that gets him on SmackDown. But couldn't you just have him in the shake? I don't know. It's not my preferred booking. But hey, there was a build up with him and AJ Styles, kind of, because AJ Styles like, I'm going to fight you now after not even addressing your promo. So it's like, I'm left wondering, like, it's going to be a good match, but I'm wondering if the story backing it's still there, because I feel like it lost its luster by doing the Jericho thing. Now the focus was on them. Now we have to go. Oh, now it's about AJ Styles, and you find that problematic at all?
Do I find it problematic? I don't know. I'm giving WWE the benefit of the doubt when it comes to this whole superstar shakeup thing, but I do that as if the superstar shakeup, that this is some shit like like Christmas. We know Christmas is going to be on December 25th every year. WWE had options when it comes to the Superstar Shakeup. They could have put it at any point in time in the year that they wanted to, but even with that being said, it's like, okay, you decide to do the Superstar Shakeup, and I'm still going to give you the benefit of the doubt, because I know the Superstar Shakeup shook some shit up.
Yeah,
so they have to get to a point where everything is settled, and they're like, okay, we're going to move forward now. Now that things are getting less crazy and we can start streamlining feuds, I'm allowing them that time to do that. So I guess this was a step in the right direction tonight.
And I look at that, I'm like under the same thing. I was like, I'm going to give them Payback. I'm maybe willing to give them the SmackDown, but after this you have to stick to the storylines you're creating on the show it's supposed to be on, because Payback was your one thing. Okay, we did a shake up and we have to finish these feuds because Mania. So whatever. I'm willing to say this Kevin Owens Jericho thing, this has to be it. We have to move forward with AJ Styles Kevin Owens. I think that's what they're doing. So, and that goes with every other thing, like Bray Wyatt, Finn Balor on Raw, everything.
But what specifically about Chris Jericho and that beatdown after the match? You have anything to say about that one?
I like if it's writing him off, I'm cool with that, because it's a way to make Kevin Owens look bad and get a sadistic side bad, and a way to get Jericho. It's killing two birds with one stone kind of a thing. I just wonder if the SmackDown thing was necessary, because it could have really been done at Payback, because you pay to see this match, and then it's $9.99 a month, or free if you whatever. But the thing is, what?
Well, I was going to say, as far as Chris Jericho is concerned, this looks like this is the end of his current run in WWE. And if it is, it's kind of sad to see.
Yeah.
Because Chris Jericho has been on fire. It's like, so somebody has lit a friggin' fuse under his behind, and I just remember seeing him at Payback. He just the quickness that he displayed in the ring, and just the sense of urgency. Yeah.
Yeah,
the sense of urgency with Chris Jericho, and of course the whole list thing. He entertaining as hell, funny, just all around good stuff from Chris Jericho. So if this is the end of this current run in WWE, tip of the invisible hat. Good stuff that we've seen from Chris Jericho.
And I do think he's going to come back, because I think they left the door open for the Kevin Owens Chris Jericho feud to continue necessarily somewhere down the line. So it's always open. That's always good to leave a door open like that. And I would love to see him come back with the list of Jericho, because my God, that got so over. And like you said, he found a way to reinvent himself, because the past couple times Jericho's been back before this run have been pretty like, Jericho, boring.
He's just been coasting.
Enhancement talent. Then, as you said, and lit a fire in him. He awoke again. We got the Jericho of '99. Maybe not in ring wise, but like I want to see Chris Jericho kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So it's good. I wish. Yeah, it's great run, man. I never would have thought you had it left in you, but you did. So prove me wrong. Hey. Right on. Let's talk about my favorite person in the world, Dolph Ziggler.
He was on. Oh yeah, he was on the show.
Yeah, okay, let's ignore the match real quick because I have a problem with that too. Let's talk about his promo. Talk about
you
why
have
is
a problem with everything that Dolph Ziggler does.
Can you blame me though? Really though? Like, yeah, we'll get into it. But he cut a promo backstage to talking to three people. I have no idea who they are.
Yeah, I was looking like, okay, did I miss something? You talking about a fucking superstar shakeup? Who are these jabronis? But
I mean, you couldn't get the Colognes to stand there for a second.
They were just random date players. WWE is like, hey, here's $300. Come stand next to.
And the weird thing is,
Ziggler.
They didn't even fulfill the purpose either because they were talking shit about Dana Bryan and Shane, and yet they weren't reacting like Shane was behind him. It was like. Like, was like, Dolph, no, he didn't fill the role. Whatever, fire him. No, Dolph Ziggler was talking some shit, saying Nakamura's not here. Once again, why is Nakamura not there? I mean, you're building the show around the guy, it seems like. Why is he not there? But hey, let Dolph Ziggler do Dolph Ziggler things. Then he's like, hey, Shane, you know what? Watch me beat up Sin Cara. Hey, sucks to be him, right? And his typical over-trying, over-acting ass. He goes out to the ring. He does the match with Sin Cara. But it gets better. Sin Cara and Dolph Ziggler have a competitive match where the purpose of that match is to get Dolph Ziggler over for a match with Nakamura. But it reverses when Sin Cara got his ass over.
Yeah, I'm looking at Sin Cara like, where has this been, guy? Like, this is some good shit here. Put you in a match with Nakamura.
But it's like, oh my God, yeah, Sin Cara is like that. But man, this is really good. Like, is this the enhancement match for Sin Cara? But then Ziggler beats him with a super kick. Like, oh, we're doing that as a finish still.
Like, okay, yeah.
Like no moment. What do you feel like Dolph Ziggler has gained any momentum at all? And
Hell no.
Nope.
I remember thinking that with Dolph Ziggler turning heel, because that's like a lot of folks a lot of wrestling fans love to. Oh, this character sucks. Turn him heel.
Yeah.
That's the magic pill to solve all ailments. Mm-hmm. When it comes to Dolph Ziggler, no.
There's no ailment. There's no ailment. There's no pill like
there's no magic pill. There is an ailment.
Oh, there's a big one.
Yeah.
Like you might need to saw his arm off to get rid of.
Like just throw it away. Get another one.
Yeah, try something else. I mean, get a new heel. I don't know, but I looked at that and I'm like, with Dolph Ziggler, I've come to an impasse with him where like, when Sin Cara gets more over than you, why am I beating a dead horse anymore? You are what you are. Yeah. You're not a big thing. I have a Jinder Mahal problem I have to deal with, so I'm going to give you a pass.
Bigger fish to fry.
And it's going to be awesome to see Nakamura beat you, I guess. So I guess I don't really want to see the match still.
He can still sell very well, and I'm quite sure he's going to put those skills to good use at Backlash.
And I will give him some credit. He's kind of slowed down in ring wise match. The match with Sin Cara tonight, he was a little slower. Okay, kudos Dolph Ziggler. You're learning a little bit. But moving away from Dolph Ziggler and his irrelevant self, what should we go to next, Jay?
Let's talk about the women's division.
Exactly. Right, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Yes.
Let's talk about your favorite person on the roster, Charlotte. And before
Charlotte is not my favorite person on the roster, but
who is it?
It's Braun right now. But
boom!
On SmackDown, she's up there.
Yeah. AJ's up there. Oh,
I am a Charlotte guy. Yes, yeah. I am a Charlotte guy.
And that's funny because right before the show, Jay, how many times have we fought about Charlotte in our times? Where you're like, oh, Charlotte's the like. I'm like, nah, Sasha Banks or this, that. I've never liked Charlotte ever, and now since the shakeup, I'm looking at her and the way she carried herself as a babyface tonight. Because tell me, last year during this time, Charlotte needs to be a babyface. It really worked, but she's a natural heel. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's like blasphemous to even consider turning Charlotte face because she just works so well as a heel. At one point, Charlotte was the best heel in WWE, male or female.
Yeah, this is true. Don't at me. Don't at me. I mean, Neville has something to say about that, but hey, leave it for a different show. Charlotte's doing some fucking work recently. Well, she's always done some work, but now it's really translating to me. We're like, wow, Charlotte is as good as Jay once propped her up to be. I've seen the light, so to speak. I guess. I
I
mean,
didn't prop her up. I just acknowledged her on
acknowledge
her
what she was. While
pedestal.
everyone
Yes.
else was looking at Sasha Banks and Bailey, you were
I
the one.
mean, well, I was looking at Sasha Banks too. Like, let's not forget that I'm talking about I'm a Charlotte guy. Sasha Banks, that was my number one.
Yeah, but
But
then
it's like,
Charlotte did her thing,
yeah.
and the booking
Hmm.
of Sasha was what it was. And we got to this point where I'm just not like, nah, man. Charlotte's perfect weak link. She's dangerous. She does all these things. Charlotte's great now,
Hmm.
and her babyface turn was really good. And it's hard to just give her credit because I have to give credit to basically everyone in that segment.
Yeah.
Like even Tamina did her thing. James Ellsworth was hilarious
Whatever
when
that thing is.
yeah,
Yeah.
whatever the heck Tamina does, just look
She did it.
menacing, look menacing. And
I gotta
Natty,
say though,
oh what?
Tamina, she is. Those are the type of folks like, cause just to connect the dots for everyone, Tamina is technically quote unquote related to Naomi.
Yes.
You beat up
Oh,
through the Usos, like that whole, that
yeah,
that big ass family where
the Dwayne
they're
Johnson family.
yeah, Dwayne Johnson, Yokozuna,
Rikishi,
Rikishi,
yeah.
Roman Reigns, the Usos. That's fam. That's Us right there. And you turned on your damn family. No loyalty.
Yeah, it's just
No
like when the
loyalty at
Usos.
all.
It's like when the Usos propped up Dean Ambrose after beating Roman Reigns and Seth like yeah, like what? No,
Mm-mm.
okay, it is what it is.
There's some
Yeah,
weird shit going on over in that family.
yeah,
You,
I don't
you, you
know.
don't want to end up at a family reunion because you never know.
I mean, I might
You're
like
thinking
to.
you're in good company there, and somebody just hauls off and starts whooping your ass, and
Yes, yeah.
you,
Calling you a candy ass jabroni, so, yeah,
yeah.
all that fun stuff. But get that aside, I think Natalya and Carmella were really good tonight, and
Hmm.
I have to say, besides
Naomi
Charlotte,
too.
yeah, I'm about to get to her. Naomi really impressed me tonight in her skill. Like, damn,
She had something tonight
to
that,
prove. She had something to
yeah,
prove.
maybe that's it because she's like, I waited all this damn time in WWE to finally get my time in the spotlight, and Charlotte comes over here, and you could just, I know it's going on in her mind. She does not have to say
Like the
a friggin' word at all. The thought that, oh God, Charlotte's here. I
writings on
gotta
the
take a
wall.
step back. My time is over with. So exactly like you said, she was out there like she had something to prove. I was like, okay, I see you, Naomi. I see you, and I'm
And she
liking
had
what I
some.
see.
She had good character, like the whole kicks things with Carmella. That was really well done. I mean,
Oh,
it's
just
not
to pause really quickly.
okay.
Viper X Star in the chat, he's saying I would like to go to one of those family reunions. I take back what I said. I'd like to go see that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. It'd be fun. I'll be the camera guy filming. Yeah, boom. That'd be it. But yeah, Naomi, the kicks things was great, and the psychology she had, where it's just like, "Fuck you, Carmella, you little tiny thing," and just like,
Hmm.
and a good thing with working with Natalya, because say what you will about Natalya's character and how like she carries herself, she is a damn good wrestler,
Yes,
and
she is.
she and working with her is a good way to get things out. Because I think working with Natalya really helped Naomi tonight. And I actually
Hmm.
would have liked to seen a feud between the two of them, so maybe Naomi could get to the place where she is, where maybe facing Charlotte wouldn't be like, oh well, Charlotte's just gonna do her thing, and that's gonna be it. But hey, I liked every part. Now we have to talk about the big, almost NWO spot with Becky Lynch. How do you feel
Hmm.
about? Do you think Becky Lynch should have turned heel here, or do you think they booked it correctly?
That was some good stuff when I saw that because she comes out there and I'm like, Becky Lynch, I've said this before. Becky Lynch at one point was the best babyface on WWE TV, male or female. Becky Lynch was number frigging one. She's so endearing. There's something just so awesome and relatable to her. She's like blue collarish, where she
Yeah, she was,
talks on a level where it's like I can rock with her. Like I just want to hang out with Becky Lynch. And tonight on the show, she comes out there and she's standing and she's kind of contemplating on what to do. She starts shaking hands and stuff like that, and I'm like, Lord, not Becky. Not Becky. I was getting my gifs ready because I'm the gif master on Twitter. I'm getting my gifs ready.
master.
Like, I don't want to live in a world where Becky Lynch is heel. I was preparing for it, but when she ended up, tossing James Ellsworth and then just going nuts, started throwing them hands, I was like, yes, that's my girl Becky right there. That was, I think that was on point. I loved it.
Yeah, and I do like the fact that even though Becky did that, like they've already done the damage to Naomi and Charlotte, so the welcoming committee, I think that's what they're called,
Yeah.
got the upper hand. So now there's a good story with the women's division that's kind of new, and I'm kind of
Mm-hmm.
like it's very fresh. Where it's not so much about the women's title; it's about what the implications of Charlotte being here and how it
Yes,
just
and that
a
is
real
so
shakeup.
important. That's so
Yeah,
important because what they could have done, where it's like, okay, Charlotte is this big superstar. Let's actually roll out the red carpet for her and let's push Naomi to the side. Let's do this and let's do that and let's make this the Charlotte division. But they're using Charlotte to lift everyone else up,
yeah,
and that is, oh my God, that is good stuff.
that's
The
exactly what.
SmackDown Women's Division is on friggin' fire, and the Raw Women's Division as well. I know this isn't the Raw review, but yeah, the Superstar Shakeup: Alexa Bliss to the franchise, Charlotte to the Blue Brand. Man, that
It's
was
been working.
on friggin' point.
Like it seems like those are the only two divisions that's not been hurt somewhat by the shakeup somewhat because it seems like it was only just improved it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to give the women kudos. They had a damn good match and good story tonight. So I'm like,
Yes.
okay, shit, we got something here. I like. I want to see where it goes. It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's giving everyone something to do. All the mouths are being fed. So got nothing but good things to say about that. But what else do we got, Jay? We got. Let's talk about the tag titles. Where are the Usos? Are they with
Chilling
Randy
with
Orton
Randy
somewhere?
Orton.
Are they with Randy Orton?
The champions just took the night off like shit. Like, well, except for Naomi, she was holding it down. But yeah, they're just sitting, watching.
I can't remember the last time I saw the Usos. It feels like it's been forever.
But
But
that segment with the
with the
fashion police,
yes,
I liked it.
yeah. My thing with it is I wish they would have went further with it. I mean, you have to run the risk of maybe running too cartoony or something with that. But I wish
I think they could do it with the fashion police.
Yeah, it'd be fun. And if you're going to do the parody Law and Order, I see SVU on USA every fucking day. Give me my actual Law and Order soundbite. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the USA Network. That's nothing but Law and Order.
And some wrestling here and there.
Yeah, that's it. Like the only time Law and Order isn't on is when Raw or SmackDown is on. Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, give me the soundbite, man. So and I think NBC Universal. That's why they got the. Why couldn't they just use whatever? That's a small detail, but I wish it was more authentic. Like they were actually doing like. I feel like maybe they're going to go further next week, but initially I like the concept. I like they're trying new things. I'm all about WWE trying new things that aren't Jinder Mahal going through number one.
Yeah.
Things that make sense. And yeah.
Yeah, I've been hoping that they would do something like this, like these out of the ring segments with Tyler Breeze for years, because this guy is a damn model. Like, why don't we see him going on photo shoots, and why don't we see him, doing different things like that? Like, those are the types of things that are very necessary for character development and to flesh out these characters and make them seem as if they are real people, where it's just not like, okay, well, we're gonna throw this type of attire on you and just we're gonna say that you are that. Show us that they actually are that. Remember how they had those vignettes with Alberto Del Rio, and he was in the mansions with the cars and things like that. They don't really do that anymore. So I loved tonight where they were playing into the actual gimmick of the fashion police in a police precinct, and Deputy Dango and
Dango.
What did they say? Jaywalking and Jimmy walking.
Yes,
and,
it was a lot of humor. It's what they needed to be, because these are a comedic tag team, and it's not just like. And if you're gonna have run for the titles for a month or whatever, let's have fun with it, kind of a thing.
Yeah, let's have fun on the ride.
And it is what I'm excited to see what they do with it too. And as you said, like Tyler Breeze in NXT, he had that whole thing where he shot his music video with like him singing his song, like. Do so much with Tyler Breeze. His entrances were more elaborate. I know Tyler Breeze has kind of floundered on the main roster, but now with Breeze ongoing,
kinda.
There was a time where I was really hopeful we'd have an IC champion out of him.
Me too.
Yeah, because I think his character is loaded with potential. So Breeze Ongo's a good fit too. The fashion police, it's quirky and something new. All for it. I like to see where it goes. But speaking of potential IC champions, this is United States champions. I have to talk about my boy Ty Dillinger real quick. And Aiden
He's on
English
fire tonight.
Aiden English, it's cool to see him go back to the gimmick he had before the Vaudevillains, because I don't know. I like the idea of a drama king, all this, I like the idea of it. And I like to see maybe go forward with it. I wish he wasn't a jobber. I wish they would just do something with him. But whatever. Ty Dillinger, I've thought for the longest time, I saw nothing in him. This goes to another thing you told me about, Jay. Go back to NXT Brooklyn, the first one. When he faced Apollo Crews, I'm like, man, I have to give Ty Dillinger the credit. He is putting in work. He's this, that. Like, Ty Dillinger, he's just enhancement talent. But then he had that feud with Bobby Roode in NXT. I'm like, there's something to this guy.
If I'm being completely honest, though, it started long before that Bobby Roode feud. Honestly, that Bobby Roode feud was when management finally said, okay, we see something in this guy. Because Ty Dillinger has always been that person. He put in work. He was a utility guy. When they wanted somebody else to look good, they put them in the ring with Ty Dillinger, and he started doing things kind of like what you talked about with
Naomi.
Not Naomi, but Sin Cara and Dolph Ziggler.
Yes,
it's like, okay, this was the objective was to get this person over, but this guy's looking pretty good. It's not like he completely overshadowed the other person, but it got to a point where it's like the more that he did that, the more that people paid attention to Ty Dillinger, and that was his opportunity. That was WWE management basically saying, okay, we see something in you. Let's put him in a feud with a big star like Bobby Roode, and that was all of that led to this Ty Dillinger that we see on the main roster now.
Yeah, and going off that, it's just like, once again, I always saw him as a guy, he's always going to be NXT. He's going to be that guy who loses to Cien almost or something like that. I always thought, and then that feud with Bobby Roode, then that cage match with Eric Young, I'm like, this is a potential world champion right here. I see that in Ty Dillinger. Maybe I'm stretching too big, but I saw what...
Yeah.
But you know what? If I'm stretching too big on Ty Dillinger, that's fine. I'm okay with that. It's not like I'm saying Curtis Axel, great mic worker or something like that. But there was a day. But Ty Dillinger, he looked good tonight against Aiden English. I see something in him. Don't sleep on Ty Dillinger is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, keep an eye on him. He's got potential for days. He's been there forever. I hope for the best. So, Jay, let's wind this up a little bit. We can't really say much about AJ Styles or Baron Corbin for that matter, because Corbin wasn't there either, was he?
He was suspended.
Oh, yeah. That's because the story was Sami Zayn and...
yeah, he attacked the referee.
Okay.
And see, I remember you saying this previously on... Was it you or Lucas? I think it was on the show where you two were on. They are telling a story with Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin is one of those people where it's like... They're waiting to flip that switch. They're just waiting.
And I wish they kind of would have flipped that switch like 2-3 weeks ago when we needed a number one contender. But hey, whatever. Because Baron Corbin has that too. Don't sleep on Baron Corbin. And so AJ Styles.
I've been saying that for the longest time. Don't sleep on.
Didn't we have this argument last week about who was the original Baron Corbin fan? But hey,
and you lost.
You won. Yeah, but hey, I love me some Baron Corbin. I like to see him do what he do. So, with that being said, Jay, if you had to pick one person who really was the MVP of the show, who would you give it to?
If I had to
pick one, it could be a match even.
I'm gonna, of course, it's the women's match, the tag team.
It's hard not to, right?
Naomi and Charlotte versus Natalya and Carmella.
And I would probably say that too, but in just the interest of saying something different, I'm giving it to Ty Dillinger. I just see something in him. His entrance music's great. The gimmick's great. He's got it, as Jericho would say. So I'm going to give the kudos to that. Kevin Owens also had a great night. Jericho had a great night. So it was a night of great nights. But low lights, I have to give mine first. It's clearly Jinder Mahal. I can't even say Dolph Ziggler anymore because I can't even be that mad at Dolph Ziggler anymore. Jinder Mahal, it's just his push. I'll just say that's always going to be the low light until after Backlash when hopefully this ends and they don't give him the belt. If they give him the belt, I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to have to just stop watching SmackDown. I can't do it. Where I sit in a world where Jinder Mahal is my WWE champion. Can't do it. And I have just that sinking feeling that they just might do it just to piss me off. So it is what it is. And Jinder Mahal's my low light. Jay, you got any low lights?
JBL.
Oh. You want to emphasize, or are you just going to leave it at JBL?
Because he's JBL. Yeah.
You know what, JBL? You just made the list of J.
The list of Jericho.
Oh, the list of Jericho has begun. Drink it in, man. All right. We're not gonna give a grade because me and Jay don't believe in that. But I have to ask.
I mean, well, you don't have to not believe in it just because I don't. You know.
No, I've always had the same mentality of like I don't know, get the point of grading. Like
I'll
stars.
give this show tonight a P.
You had to pee during it, or
No.
is this? All right, all right. I just want to
Yeah.
wonder. Actually, I wonder. Was this show good? You think was it overall
Yes.
sound? Okay,
Yes. I really enjoyed SmackDown tonight. Mm-hmm.
and it didn't feel like filler. It felt like things were being developed. I mean, the one big thing that wasn't developed was the WWE title, but I've spoken about that enough to watch the first part of the video, and I think the show was passable. It felt like a good time. It was a quick 2 hours. Some great wrestling, great characters, great story. It's what SmackDown has been doing for a while. It seems like they're getting back on track since the shakeup. So, got to give kudos to that.
If
Jay,
they just work out what's going on with that main event scene.
I just pray Backlash is the end of it. Then we can move on to something else. Something better. There's always maybe something greener on the other side. Jay, got anything to plug? Any articles that you wrote recently that you?
Oh yes, I did write an article on pwfempire.com. Thanks to Justin. It started out, we were having a discussion on Twitter, and I was like, you know what? This would be way too many goddamn tweets, and it turned out to be almost 900 words. The article is about the feud, or I can't even say feud. It was a storyline between Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Bayley. If you all remember, there was a point in time where it looked like Sasha Banks was going to turn heel. And honestly, a lot of people didn't even catch that, the fact that they were building to a heel turn. But there was a point in time where they were building to a heel turn, but Sasha Banks turning heel on Bayley, who is the then Raw Women's Champion. And everything changed once they added Nia Jax to the match at WrestleMania. What I do is I explore this alternate timeline where they did not add Nia Jax to that match. Sasha Banks turned heel on Bayley at WrestleMania, won the Women's Championship, and from that point on, we get a story that finally puts into perspective a lot of what we have been seeing from Sasha Banks and Bayley. There are a lot of people out there who look at Bayley and they're like, I have absolutely no idea what the hell WWE is doing with her on the main roster, because if you remember, it kind of seemed like it was an out of nowhere type moment where she won the Raw Women's Championship, and you'd think that with Bayley being a big baby face, they could have done a lot more with that, and they could have built that moment up to be greater than what it actually was. Well, with this alternate timeline that I'm exploring, that moment makes sense. WWE fucked it up in real time, but it makes sense in my alternate timeline. And the title of the column is Sasha Banks and the Slow Burn Heel Turn That Never Was. And it's a Harry Potter themed visuals and stuff to go with it. And it's cool if I do say so myself.
So are you calling Sasha Banks Voldemort?
Yes, and that's the thing about it. Like, it could have easily been titled, Bayley, because she could have been the Harry Potter. But I twisted it a little bit. Yeah. And I put the villain at the center of the story, but it's equally as much Sasha Banks' story as it is Bayley. So give it a look.
Yeah, and that's just the thing. I don't want to go too long on this, but heel and babyface, that's what it should always be about. Not should just be benefiting one person, it should be benefiting both. Both people should be eating. Not 50-50 booking wise. Just the story should be equal favor to both. One person wins in the end. They propel each other, whatever.
And that's something that they did very well, and this is off the subject of wrestling. On the first season of Daredevil.
Oh, yes. Kingpin.
Wilson Fisk. Oh, yes.
Better tell you are the villain.
That was some good shit right there. But yeah, like Justin said, it should be about the babyface and the hero and the villain. And I make that story about the hero and the villain, and not to toot my own horn, but beep beep. Go check out that comment.
And before I go off air, I'll just say fuck you to Manny. I believe in baby faces and heels because damn it, that's wrestling. And I don't care about your whole saying, oh, there doesn't need to be baby faces and heels, just real people. Like, suck it. Anyway, all right. And I know we advertised it last week, but this week it's actually happening. Jay, Steven, PWF Empire Podcast, tier list coming back. They got some shit to talk about this week. Is that still happening? Is that not happening? Am I wrong again? Are you making a monkey out of me?
Well, see, we just talked about it today, though. So we're probably gonna wait until after Backlash, since we just did a new kayfabe tier list. Last week? It wouldn't make sense to do another one immediately right after Payback. So we're gonna, let it marinate a little bit, let things settle, and maybe we'll be doing it after. We'll definitely be doing it after Backlash.
And keep a look on that. Last Mark Standing. Go check out the championship match that happened a couple weeks ago. Good listen. And next week, things should be back to normal with Lucas, Evan, and on SmackDown. And then over on Raw would be Cass and Micah. Got you this time. And this has been fun. I've done 2 nights in a row. I guess I'm the workhorse of the PWF Empire. It's no big deal.
Yeah, somebody say you should get a raise.
About damn time.
I decree. You get paid 2 times as much as you used to.
I don't know how that's going to work out, but all right.
3 times as much.
Yeah, I'll take it. Shit. All right, guys. Got to give you kudos. Thanks for watching, listening, and sitting through Raw and coming here afterwards to get our thoughts on it. That is Jay. I'm Justin, and we're out!
Peace.